Okay, so I got a new idea for a comic book movie or book or whatever. So it's about this guy whose father and uncle works at like a comic studio, and they make comic book characters. After his father gets murdered on the night of his son's birthday, he ends up getting the inheritance from his father of a couple $1,000,000. So he and his friend, engineering friend, end up making suits for superheroes, since he wants to take the character designs that his father built and try to like make a live version of them to fight crime, but they wouldn't have any superpowers, which would change soon, because the main character, he ends up recruiting these drug cartel members and these mobsters and gangsters and whatever, and he ends up convincing them to come and be part of the team. So on their first mission, they end up getting into a fight with this other cartel, and they end up dying. The main engineering friend doesn't go into battle, so then after they end up dying, he brings them back to life, and something happens to where whenever they snort cocaine, their powers activate. The only character I got right now, though, is Diego Facundo, which is going to be the Flash of this universe. And one of the scenes that I'm just playing out in my head is that the main character is just on an alleyway, and he just hears shouting, and when he turns around the corner, he just sees Diego just beating up this fucking homeless man. And then when he looks back up at the camera, his face, his mustache and his goatee is just covered in cocaine. And as the story goes on, since they'd have a tight schedule between how frequently they can use cocaine, and since Diego uses cocaine every day, a couple times a day, he slowly starts to crack, and day by day he ends up revealing that one day he just ends up revealing his entire backstory. That I don't have it completely figured out, but what I think that it's gonna be is that his family was murdered, his entire family was murdered, and he goes to a foster home, and when he turns 21, he goes to AA for I think it was alcohol addiction. So after he gets out of AA, he ends up becoming part of a drug cartel and ends up getting addicted to cocaine. And a couple months into that, that's when he meets up with the main character and then becomes part of the crew. So that is what I have so far from my new comic book movie or book idea that I have. It's going to be called The Residence. So I'll update y'all on how the book goes. So yeah, see y'all.